everyone. We would like to welcome you to our first presentation about using local when buying local. When we're talking about buying local, we're talking about your local real estate and everyone that has to do with buying and selling real estate in Bastrop County. From your realtors to your lenders, using local is beneficiary in so many ways. Not only are you getting someone who lives, breathes, works, plays in the same location that you do, they contribute back into your community. They are supporting your cheerleaders, your local little leagues, your local food banks, your local concert organizations. They put back into your community that you live and work in. So we're going to get started, and we're going to get started first with Fay Scoggins from First National Bank, and she's got some great information for you. We're going to have a round of panelists, but first, let's start with Fay.
Everyone, I'm Fay Scoggins with First National Bank. I'm very glad to be here today to talk to you about reasons to use local lenders for your real estate transactions. First good reason is your local lender knows the area and the market very well. They have probably financed your property in the past, you know, the property you're buying or the property you're selling, or we're driving by it every day on our way to and from work. We have personal knowledge of the area properties and can point you in the right direction for the type of property that you need or product that you need to finance that property. Also, we always tend to use our local realtors, title companies, surveyors, appraisers who know the market very well too. So using local talent can make that transaction go much smoother than maybe using someone from out of the area. Another good reason to use your local lenders is that they are involved in your communities. Like First National Bank, you know, is always volunteering time and resources and monetary donations to our local food banks, our nonprofit organizations, our schools, and other activities in the area. It's our community too, and we want to make it the best possible community. We support our local economy. We provide jobs in our branches and our home offices. And we also fund local businesses, and in turn, we are buying their products and services as well. Also with community banks, our customer service, we pride ourselves on having very good personal customer service. You can come in and talk to us at any time in person, pick up the phone and talk to us one-on-one. We tend to always try to do the best to make our customers happy. And two, our products and services. We try to offer the type of products and services that are tailored to our community. You know, for instance, at First National Bank, we have fixed rate products for site-built homes, manufactured homes. We also finance lots and acreage and have construction loans to build your dream home. So we have a wide range of products that sometimes the public thinks that maybe a local bank doesn't have. But we definitely try to serve our community in the very best possible way we can. And some other things that I want to mention as well is pre-qualifying. It's always a good idea for borrowers before they start shopping for that home, that dream home, to come in, visit with a lender. We can go through all your numbers and see what you can qualify for, so that way you aren't looking at a home that possibly doesn't fit your budget. And two, coming in and visiting with us before you find that home, you can find out what products are available for you. We have such a crazy market right now with, you know, prices, homes selling for more than asking price. It's always good to find out what your max budget is. Two, if there's any credit issues or you need to save a little more money, you can find that out early enough on that when you do finally put that offer on the dream home, that there's no delays. Something too I want to mention that we are seeing with our market the way it is, with homes selling above asking prices. Sometimes appraisals are coming in lower than the sales price. And so people just need to be prepared to bring extra money to closing, because generally a lender is going to look at the sales price, the lesser of sales price, or the appraised value to determine your loan amount. So those are some things to keep in mind. You know, hopefully this information has been helpful for y'all today. And if you're looking to purchase a property soon or refinance or do cash out, come see us at First National Bank. Thank you, and I hope y'all have a good evening.
Next up, we do have Jim Barringer, who is with Independence Title, and he's got some great information from you and stuff you get from your local real estate people.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jim Barringer. As Charitty said, I am with Independence Title. I'm the business development rep here for the Bastrop County area, which encompasses, of course, Bastrop, Elgin, Smithville, etc. Today, I was going to talk to you a little bit about the current market. One thing that I get excited about is statistics and numbers. I'm kind of boring like that. But if you look at the chart that's on my screen right here, it covers what's going on in the market for the last 5 years. Now, this covers the greater Austin metropolitan area, so it's a little bit wider base. But the numbers that are being reflected there are pretty consistent with what's going on in our market as well. So just going through the chart there, you'll notice that yellow line. That's roller coaster that we're looking at right there is 2020. You can see how April and May were just horrible times in the market here. And then by July, things had totally reversed and it was boom time. And then if you look at the yellow line and the amount that it stayed over 2019 for the entire year, it was clearly a boom time for that whole period as well. So what that ended up doing is that extra volume that we were doing in those 6 months kind of sucked all the inventory out of the market. So that by the time you get into 2021, you could see the red line, which represents that the volume wasn't that much higher than it has been other years. We'll flip to the next screen. So this market right, or this screen right here is showing the average months of inventory. So what that does is you take the number of homes that are on the market and you divide it by the number of sales that were last month. As you can see, historically for the last 5 years in Austin, we've averaged about 2.5 to 3 months of inventory. And now, towards the end of 2020, we're flatlining at about less than half a month of inventory. And that's consistent in Austin and in Bastrop. And so almost as soon as something gets on the market, it's being sold. It's a classic situation where you've got supply and demand. One thing they say in the real estate market is that it is it's a neutral market when you've got 6 months of inventory. Well, you can see for the last 5 years, we've been well below that. So it's been a seller's market for the last 3 years. And now it's just kind of ridiculous. But so moving on forward, we can see the next chart, what happens when you have that kind of a scenario. So if you're looking at the prices here, the number in red, the 2021 is the average median sales price of a home in the greater Austin metropolitan area. That number jumped over $100,000 in just 1 year. You know, depending on the value of the home, it's going to be a little bit more or a little bit less, but we're seeing that out here in Bastrop County as well. So that's all great. That's what they're doing in the metropolitan area, which includes Bastrop and Williamson and Travis and Hayes and Caldwell. What's going on in Bastrop? Well, I put this next report together, which is the 78602 zip code. This report shows numbers from June of last year versus June this year. Now I won't bore you by going through line by line. I want to make you aware that your agents that you're working with, hopefully you're working with the local agent out here in Bastrop County, they have access to this information. I'm not allowed to send it directly to you just because it is MLS data, so you'll have to get it from them. So reach out to them if you want it on any particular zip code or for any particular month. But just some things that I would highlight from this as far as what's going on June over June. This year in Bastrop in June, we sold 82 homes versus 65 last year. Now, these numbers don't reflect new home sales because a lot of times those homes don't hit the MLS market. But we've seen that kind of growth. That's a 26% year-over-year growth. We've gone from 2.1 months of inventory in June of 2020 to we're at 0.4 months of inventory right now. That's 2 weeks of inventory. So most houses are staying on the market on average 2 weeks. The average list price of a home in Bastrop is up 47.4%. The sale price is up 52.8%. The price per square foot has gone from $139 to $198 a square foot. These are amazing numbers. And there's more on this report. You can see how it breaks down in the upper right panel there by the dollar price of the home sold, how many sold in that market. Again, this is just an overview of the types of resources that we have out here in Bastrop County to provide you with. Wanted to thank the Board of Realtors for giving me some time to speak to you. Make sure if you want those reports, you reach out to your agents and they'll be in touch. Thank you very much. Back to you, Charitty.
That is a lot of information that your local realtors can provide to you that we have access to. And we work as a team with these title companies to make sure you have all the information you need. Next up is one of those local realtors. Her name is Laura Wiggins. She's with All City Real Estate, and she's got a great presentation to you about something that affects this community.
Good evening. Yes, my name is Laura Wiggins. I am with All City Real Estate, and I am a local Bastrop area agent. So what I would like to speak to you about this evening is the Houston Toad and how it affects buying and selling properties in the Bastrop area. So Bastrop is very unique in many ways, and this evening we will be discussing some of those ways. So not only is Bastrop County home to the Lost Pines, but it's also home to the Houston Toad. And there's approximately 124,000 acres in the northeastern area of Bastrop County that has been designated to be in the Lost Pines Habitat Conservation Plan area. Now, if you are a property owner and you're hoping to sell property that is within this plan area, then you must disclose that to potential buyers. Now, your local Bastrop agent has the disclosures and the information that's needed in order to properly disclose this information. If you are a buyer and wish to purchase property in Bastrop County, it's equally as important to know if that property that you have chosen is within the plan area. So again, your realtor will be your very first point of contact in acquiring that information. And if they do not have all of the answers for you, then we at least have the contacts and their contact, the company or person's name that we can put you in contact with in order to get that information. Now, there's another thing that we want to discuss within the plan area, and that is if you own 3 or more acres within this conservation plan area, then you may be able to qualify in a wildlife management plan. Now, by doing so, not only are you benefiting the Houston Toad habitat, but you could also be saving on your property taxes, as there is an exemption that is equivalent to an ag exemption that you could qualify for. All right, so there are some areas within Bastrop County, some neighborhoods that a lot of people are familiar with that you want to pay attention to because they lie within the Houston Toad Plan area. Some of those include Tahitian Village, Pine Forest, Circle D, Lake Bastrop, Ponderosa Pines, Casey Estates. And this is a triangular area that encompasses from Highway 290 to Highway 71 and the Highway 95 triangular area. Okay, next one. So you may ask yourself, so why do I care? How does it affect me? So landowners and land buyers must be aware of the consequences of violating the provisions of an Endangered Species Act. The conversion or removal of native vegetation communities is prohibited in the Lost Pines Habitat Conservation Plan and may be a violation of the Endangered Species Act, as well as sellers, again, are required to disclose when their property is located in an area that is habitat to the endangered species. And buyers should review all requirements prior to removing trees or habitation for new construction. There is a misconception that in order to get the best marketing or representation for buying or selling property in this area, that one should use a big city agent, and that's simply not so. Your local Bastrop County agents are not only members of the Bastrop County Board of Realtors, but we're also members of the Austin Board of Realtors. We have the same marketing tools and techniques available to us as the big city agents, and we have the firsthand knowledge of the area in which we work and live. Members of the Bastrop County Board of Realtors Community Involvement Committee has made this informational presentation available to you this evening and have participated in several events that support our local community. So the next time that you are considering buying or selling property within Bastrop County, we ask that you first consider your local realtor. Thank you.
Next up, very important information, our friend in the real estate world, our appraiser, Miss Lynn Shirk.
Thank you. My name is Lynn Shirk. I'm an appraiser here in Bastrop. I've been here about 5 years. I am a local appraiser. I appraise right now only in Bastrop County because of the amazing amount of transactions going on. I currently work exclusively here in Bastrop County, and most of my work consists of outlying areas that are rural. We don't have very many subdivisions here with tract homes. And so most of my work has been out in rural areas, complex properties, multi-acres, outbuildings, things like that. And that takes a lot of knowledge and competency. And that is something that bringing in an appraiser from out of the area really has an effect on, because they don't know our market like your local appraisers do. And so how important is it to use a local appraiser? It's very, very important. Competency is a key factor in choosing an appraiser. The state actually requires in your licensing that you are competent in the market area you're working in. When I first got here, I basically hired a realtor to take me around to the whole area, someone who grew up here, and teach me everything. And through the 5 years that I've been doing appraisals here, I have learned so much. And this year, because of the volume, the pure volume, I have done over 1,000 appraisals just this year in Bastrop County. So it's a little crazy right now, but I would much rather be doing Bastrop County than any other county, because that's where I'm competent. I love working with the local agents. I love working with the local lenders and the title companies, because they're aware of what's going on here too. And it's just so important that everyone is on board. You don't have someone from across the country trying to underwrite a loan of something that has to do with, you know, a rural situation. And a lot of lenders will they'll take the whole slate of appraisers from Texas and just put it out in the appraiser universe and say, who wants this appraisal? And it'll be in San Antonio or Dallas or something like that. And it's like, why are they doing this? And they're not using their competency skills. And it's just kind of crazy right now. So basically, my point is to use local as much as you possibly can, because the local professionals here are just second to none. They are the most amazing people. And I know that in most cases you cannot choose your appraiser because the lender has to, but I've actually had situations several times where the buyers of properties are calling me saying, my lender says they can't find an appraiser. I don't understand how that happens. I don't understand it at all, but you know, they've got buyers calling us, which is highly irregular, but that's what's happening. That's our market right now. Let me see, what else can I talk about? To send a non-local professional to perform an appraisal, a non-local appraiser on a complex property is always going to be a challenge, because the non-local appraiser is not going to know this market like local appraisers do. This is so important in the loan process, as a loan can be delayed indefinitely if the report doesn't make it through underwriting and requires several revisions or stipulations to make the report satisfactory to the lender. So the whole process and the time involved in getting your loan can be held up quite a bit by a non-local appraiser or any other non-local professional outside of Bastrop County. So using local will help you with your loan process, will help you with so much less frustration, and just know that we are complete professionals here, and we love what we do. We take pride in what we do. We're proud of our community, and just want to help everyone as much as possible and do the very best that we can for folks. And I guess that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much, and thanks for joining in on this webinar.
Next up, we have Vanessa, who is with Austin Title, and she's going to give y'all some title information, we hope.
Charitty. Hi, I'm Vanessa Lindsley from Austin Title. And I just wanted to welcome you guys to our webinar. Thanks for tuning in. We are excited about the prospect of you guys moving into Bastrop County. As Jim told you guys earlier, our community is booming. It's an exciting time to live here, and it's an exciting time to move here. So I'm so glad that you're doing the research and finding out, why would I move here? Why would I use local agencies, and what should I do next? So a lot of people ask me all the time, what is title insurance? I mean, it's not something that we all think about every day. We didn't go to school thinking I want to know all about title insurance. So basically what we do is we help you guys where we discover problems that we protect you from, what do? We protect you from all of the things that might have happened before you actually own the property. So, Bastrop is a very diverse community, as we've talked about. We have, we're becoming more urban, but at the same time, we're still rural. So we have lot and block deals, we have acreage, we deal with mobile homes, we deal with all kinds of stuff. So it's important to go with a title company that understands and knows all of these things. Our escrow officers are really, really well versed in dealing with all of those different kinds of deals. It doesn't freak them out. It doesn't scare them. They, in fact, look forward to a different type of situation every single day. So bring it on. We also have worked really hard to develop partnerships with our local agents and our local banks and our local mortgage companies and all of those guys. We really are a small town feel, but with access to big city technology and perks. So when you come to a local title company, you don't have to feel like, oh, it's just a mom and pop shop, that they're probably going to be slow and they're not going to have things for me. We've cut all of that out. Every title company in this town is very well versed in how to help you with your technology and how to help get your deal closed. And we really consider it a celebration to be at the closing table with you when you make one of your largest purchases. So we're excited to see you. We're excited for you to work with our friends, the local agents, our friends, the local mortgage companies, and get you guys to the closing table where we can celebrate one of the most important purchases you'll ever make.
So more reasons why local is such a big thing, because Bastrop County is so diverse in its properties. And one of the other things affecting your properties in Bastrop County is going to be brought to you by another local realtor, Mr. Chris Gilbert with Keller Williams. He's going to provide you some information you really want to know if you live near Camp Swift.
Hi, so a lot of you know about Camp Swift, but do you really know about Camp Swift? I did a little research, and it's pretty interesting. This is just a little tiny bit of what I know. I can tell you about it. So there's a lot more if you're interested. This be a really fun study for you. It used to be, initially it was 56,000 acres, and it was a major combat infantry housing place during World War II. And then after World War II, it housed over 3,500 German prisoners of war. Did you know that? I didn't. Pretty interesting. Now it's the home of the Texas National Guard, the University of Texas Cancer Research Center, and the federal prison. So one of the reasons why this comes up with us is because in 1945, the camp was reduced to 11,700 acres. And so it still covered the initial size still covered, you know, so much more than that. And there are little things that can be found, little relics in the ground. And I heard one time there was a landmine was found in a yard, and there's all kinds of little pitfalls and things that could be a detriment to your sale. So we have an addendum. We call it the Camp Swift addendum, but it really is a document that will enable the buyers to take a look at to be alerted about the history and some of the pitfalls and some of the possibilities that they could use against you. So this kind of clears you and makes it a safe purchase for everybody on both sides, which kind of, you know, it brings me to what Vanessa was saying. That's one of the things that we help you with and the title companies help you with. And that's one of the good things about going local is because we know we got your back and we know what to look for. And as one of my colleagues, I think a lot of us probably have heard this, but said, if you want to hire someone local, you're going to run into them in the grocery store. You got somebody you can hold accountable, and that's awesome.
Next up is another one of our local lenders. So we don't only have banks that lend, we do have local lenders that offer full products. And we have Jolene with First Centennial Mortgage.
Hi there. Thank you for having me on. I feel honored to be on a panel of such experts. So my name is Jolene Jaehne. I'm a licensed loan officer with First Centennial Mortgage here in beautiful Bastrop, Texas. I have been lending here locally for more than 20 years, and I can truly say that it makes a huge difference in your mortgage experience when you work with local professionals. While our industry knowledge should be nationwide, our expertise is unique to the market that we serve. Just as you've built relationships with your yoga instructor, your son's soccer coach, your next door neighbor, we have also cultivated relationships in our community. Local lenders have spent years and sometimes decades serving local home buyers. In that time, you can bet we've developed some wonderful working relationships with industry professionals and a network of support services, which would include local appraisers, local surveyors, insurance company, local real estate agents. We could even recommend pool companies, contractors, plumbers. That is the kind of service that you just can't get at a big bank. Trust me on that one. That's just one reason you should consider using a local lender. Online lenders may or may not be an expert on available loan programs, potential hurdles, and potential workarounds. A second benefit of using someone local is that we can navigate all the ins and outs of a particular market, of our particular market. We can tell you what makes it tick, and we can tell you what might require special attention. Online lenders have no way of knowing the complexities in your desired neighborhood. How could they? They don't live here, work here, play here. In fact, there's a really good chance that they're not even living in your state. Take, for example, down payment assistance programs. They are very specialized loans that can differ state by state and also county by county. Local certified loan officers will be able to explain and show you all of the available loan programs that might keep some money in your pocket through this real estate transaction. Another benefit of using a local mortgage lender is that they're going to stay constantly updated about available loan programs. A local mortgage broker is going to sit down with you face to face and review your current financial situation and your long-term goals. That's a benefit that really you can't just overlook. Our localized approach means that you're going to work directly with me and my team. You're not calling a call center. You're not going to be put on hold. You're not going to explain your situation and circumstances 10 times. We offer personalized service, and we're dedicated to that personalized service. Local lenders are going to care about you. Local lenders depend on their reliability and their reputation. We're always going to make sure that the process is smooth and seamless, because I think it was mentioned earlier, we will run into you at our local grocery stores. And last, I'd like to mention, besides knowing the area and the local real estate market, a local lender is going to appear more attractive when a seller or a listing agent is looking at a potential offer. Those realtors and that seller want a smooth, on-time closing process. They want to go with a lender that has a reputation for closing on time and making the process smooth. Some sellers and listing agents may not even consider offers with out-of-town or online lenders, pre-qualification letters, because maybe bad experiences in the past or some bad reputations that have come from some online lenders that aren't showing up at the closing table. I don't lend all over the United States. I focus on my neighbors, and that means you. I encourage you to consider buying local and borrowing local. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this call tonight.
So this has been our first presentation. We really hope it provided the community with a wealth of information on not only what affects your community, but how using your local agents, your local title companies, your appraisals, all of the professionals with the Bastrop County Board of Realtors that are here to help you, to provide you all the same information you can get from any big city agent. We have all the same technology. We can provide you the same information. And when you use local, you're using your neighbors who are going to keep that money in your local communities. We really hope you enjoyed the information we provided you today. And if you ever need one of those local professionals that just spoke to you, you can find all of their information on our local Bastrop County Board of Realtors page. We have a list of all the local realtors and a list of all of our local affiliates who have partnered with your agents to make sure that your next real estate transaction is smooth and closes on time.